Nancy here and welcome to my craft room. I got my Simon Says Stamps June card kit and I'm going to use the Look for Miracles stamp and make some cards. I also saw that Simon Says is having a card challenge that is a monochromatic theme. So I made one more card so that I could enter this card set into that challenge. So this is my card. And now I'm going to show you how I put it together. I got my MISTI out and I've used my rectangular die cut, and this die cut is from Dynamics. I'm going to use the larger rectangle and cut out a square from Nina Solar White, and then I'm going to put that into my MISTI and take the large flower from the stamp set and use some gray inks to stamp up my card front. So I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to lay the card out, and I'm going to use the largest flower that comes in the set and the smaller, the medium size leaf set, and I'm going to stamp that on either side of the flower. So I'm going to do this all in gray tones. And I start out using some Memento gray, and I stamp that down on the flower. And I'm happy with the way that turns out. But I have to stamp it 3 or 4 times to get it the color nice and dark the way I want it. So you'll see me stamp it over and over here. So then I move on to the leaf and I use my other shade of gray and I stamp that down, and I just really don't like the way that ink looks. It's more brown than gray. So I go back over it with the same color Memento that I did on the flower, and I was much happier with that. So I just left the whole card stamped in that gray ink from Memento. The stamp set has several little hearts in the kit, and I decide I want a little bit more interest on my card front. So I randomly stamp those hearts on the top and the bottom of the card to add a little bit more interest. And I'm still using that same gray ink from Memento. And I want these hearts to be really dark, and because they're so fine, I end up having to stamp them about 4 times to get the color that I wanted on them. So now I'm going to move on to the background and the rest of the card. And I have this little heart stamp that I bought at a yard sale. It's a Stampin' Up! Heart. And I'm going to use the gray again and just stamp the heart in the inside of the card so that there's a lot of interest on this card for the recipient that's going to be receiving it. I must have not had my camera turned on when I was stamping the background, but what I did is I had another heart stamp set that came from Simon Says Stamp, and I just stamped on this gray cardstock all over randomly to create some interest. And then I get out my gel pen, and I have a silvery gray gel pen, and I'm coloring in all of the little dots around the flower. I'm going to adhere the panel down with some stick-it tape, and this batch of stick-it tape that I bought, it holds really well, but I have a really hard time getting it off the roll, and then I have to push really hard on the tape to get it to stick when I go to remove it. So I'm going to speed it up here because I struggle a little bit trying to get it down and then get it off. I want to dress the card up a little further, and I have some white gems, and I'm going to color those with my C5 Copic marker. so that it matches the rest of the card. I take the score tape and adhere that to the gray panel and attach that to my card base. And it's a little bit long, so I'm going to have to go on to get my paper cutter out and trim up the side. And then I decide I'm going to use the glossy accents on the heart. And that finishes my card. Now I want to show you the other cards that I made, and these are going to be a gift. I also made these envelopes, and if you'll check back in a week or so, I'm going to have a video on how I prepared the envelopes. I, I made 5 or 6 of these cards, and I did them in different colors of ink, and then I tried to match the envelope liner to match the color on the flower. And these were done using my Silhouette Cameo and a die cut that I purchased from the Silhouette store, and I believe this was a Lori Whitlock design. So again, please check back soon and I will have a video on how I put those cards together. If you like my videos, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I hope you go do something creative today. Here's a look at all of the completed cards. Thanks for watching.